Welcome to the deep dive. You know those times, right? Where you negotiate, you make a compromise, but afterwards you kind of feel, I don't know, like you lost out somehow.
Uh,
Well, today we're diving into just that, the art of negotiation, and maybe challenging this whole idea that compromise is the ultimate goal. Our main source today, this really fascinating book, Never Split the Difference, it flips the script. It says negotiation isn't really a battle. It's more like, well, like discovery, finding out information.
yeah, exactly. And the person behind this thinking is Chris Voss, which his background is just incredible. We're talking former FBI lead international kidnapping negotiator.
Wow.
Yeah. He handled over like 150 hostage situations internationally. So, the stakes were unbelievably high. And the thinking is, if these techniques work when actual lives are on the line, well, they're probably pretty solid for negotiating a raise or figuring out stuff with your family.
Makes sense. High stakes testing ground.
Totally. And this wasn't just guesswork. He got training from the FBI Academy, Scotland Yard, even Harvard Law School. So
Yeah.
practical and analytical.
Okay, so let's dig into that core idea then, this beyond compromise thing. The book says splitting the difference often leads to bad deals for everyone. Why is that? It sounds fair on the surface.
Well, it's often superficial, isn't it? You both give ground, but maybe neither of you actually gets what you truly need. It's like a psychological trap. True negotiation, Voss argues, moves away from just sticking to your position like, I need X dollars, and towards finding out the why behind it. What does the other person actually need?
Needs-based discovery. Got it.
Yeah, discovering those underlying needs. That usually leads to way better outcomes, often ones you didn't even expect, without you having to give up your own core needs.
Okay, and this connects to something else mentioned, black swans, these sort of breakthrough moments. How does that work? Sounds a bit mysterious.
Huh. Yeah, it does a bit. A black swan is basically a hidden piece of information, something unexpected that completely changes the negotiation landscape once you find it. Think about, when Europeans first saw actual black swans in Australia, it totally upended what they thought a swan was.
Okay, so in a negotiation.
Right. So maybe you're arguing about price, and then you find out the other person's real issue is, say, the delivery timeline because they have a huge deadline.
Okay.
Okay.
That information changes everything. It's not just about the money anymore.
Exactly. That's your black swan. And finding them, Voss says, it takes real curiosity. Like being genuinely open and constantly looking for those surprising details, it turns negotiation into an information game.
Which leads us to another key piece, tactical empathy. The book calls it emotional intelligence on steroids. What's the tactical part? How's it different from just being nice?
It's about using empathy as a tool. It's not just feeling sorry for someone or even just understanding their feelings internally. It's about actively showing them you get where they're coming from.
How do you show them?
By articulating it, using phrases like, it sounds like you're feeling, or it seems like this is really important to you, because you label their emotions or perspective out loud.
Even if you don't agree with it.
Especially if you don't agree. It validates them, makes them feel heard. It builds trust and actually disarms them, making them more receptive later. It's strategic.
Interesting. And there's also this paradox mentioned, gaining control by giving it away. That sounds counterintuitive.
It really does, but it works.
Mm.
Think about it. Instead of pushing someone relentlessly towards saying yes, you actually make it okay for them to say no.
How does saying no help me?
Because saying no makes people feel safe. They feel autonomous, like they're in control. Paradoxically, once they feel safe enough to say no, they're often much more open to listening and considering your actual proposal.
Huh. Okay. Any other ways to give control?
Calibrated questions. These are open-ended how or what questions that gently push the other person to solve your problem. Things like, how am I supposed to do that? Or what makes that fair? It makes them think, puts the ball in their court, but subtly guides the conversation where you need it to go.
Yeah.
They feel in control, but you're shaping the path.
Right. So this is all really powerful stuff. How can people listening start trying this out without, jumping into a high-stakes negotiation immediately? The sources actually suggest a couple of simple, low-stakes exercises for you. First one. Just think back to a recent compromise you made, any situation, and be honest with yourself. Did it feel like a genuine win-win? Or did you, and maybe the other person too, walk away feeling, well, a little bit meh, a bit dissatisfied?
Yeah, that's a great starting point, just noticing that feeling.
And the second exercise, just observe. Watch a negotiation somewhere. Could be on TV, maybe people haggling in a store. Could even be like a family discussion about weekend plans. Try to spot if anyone is actually trying to understand the other person's feelings or viewpoint, that tactical empathy idea, or if they're just, pushing their own agenda forward.
It's about shifting your own awareness first. So this deep dive really just scratches the surface of Chris Voss's work. But you can already see how his journey from FBI negotiator to this global expert on influence really reframed negotiation itself. We've seen it's not just about compromise. It's about discovery, hunting for those black swans, and using that tactical empathy to truly understand.
Absolutely. And this journey into the Voss method, it's really just beginning for us here. Join us next time. We're going to focus specifically on the skill that holds all of this together, empathic listening, how to really hear what's being said and what's not. Until then, maybe just remember this. Almost every interaction you have is a negotiation in some way, and every single one is a chance for discovery. Okay, picture this. Brooklyn, New York, September 30th, 1993. You've got a Chase Manhattan Bank, 2 armed men inside, 3 employees held hostage.
Tense situation.
Extremely. Police have locked down 4 city blocks. Hours pass. Negotiations stalled, completely stuck.
Yeah, a real stalemate.
So they make a call, bring in an FBI hostage negotiator. It's actually his first major crisis. Chris Voss. And then you hear this, Chris Voss audio clip. This is Chris. You're going to be talking to me now.
Wow. Even just the audio, you feel that shift, don't you?
You really do. But what Voss did wasn't about force. It was about listening. Welcome back to the deep dive.
Today we're getting into the foundation of Chris Voss's method, this whole idea of empathic listening.
Right. And it's more than just, nodding politely while you wait to talk. What is it, really?
Well, Voss's whole thing starts from this core idea. People want to be understood and accepted. It sounds simple, but it's huge.
Universal, basically.
Exactly. And this isn't just active listening. His group calls it listening with tactical empathy. It's active. It's strategic. You're using listening to understand, but also to influence.
Okay, so tactical empathy. We should probably clarify empathy versus sympathy here, because they're really different, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely crucial. Sympathy is feeling sorry for someone, agreeing with them. Empathy, in Voss's world, is different. It's more clinical.
Clinical, how so?
It's about recognizing their perspective, understanding why things look the way they do to them, and then, crucially, vocalizing that understanding. You're showing them you see their world, even if you don't agree with it.
Like mapping out their thought process.
Precisely. It's reconnaissance. But here's the catch Voss points out. It's kind of deep listening. It's hard work. He says it's metabolically expensive.
Yeah, I bet. Our brains prefer the easy route, right? Cognitive laziness.
Totally. We'd rather be planning our reply than fully tuning in. And that effort, that rarity, is actually what gives it so much power. It's an advantage because so few people truly do it.
So, step 1 is almost battling your own brain. Quieting that internal voice that's always rehearsing what you want to say. Voss talks about a discovery mindset. Yeah.
That's it. You approach it like an experiment. You have a hypothesis, sure, but you're there to learn, to be surprised, not to prove you're right.
He mentions that really smart people sometimes struggle with this because they think they already know everything.
Exactly. That confidence becomes a blinder. They think, what's there to discover? Remember Chase Manhattan? The initial police intelligence was just wrong. Voss had to ditch the assumptions. He had to listen. As he says, until you know what you're dealing with, you don't know what you're dealing with. Simple, but profound.
Okay, so let's get practical. We've quieted our inner monologue, hopefully. What are the actual tools Voss gives us for this empathic listening?
Right, the toolkit. First up, your voice. He called it the late-night FM DJ voice.
Okay, I think I can picture that. Smooth, calm.
Yeah, exactly. Calm, slow pace. And critically, your sentences end with a downward inflection, like this. It signals calmness, control. It actually helps calm the other person's brain down, makes them more receptive.
De-escalating right from the start, just with your tone. Okay, what's next? How do you get them talking?
That's where the mirror comes in. It sounds almost too simple. You just repeat the last 1 to 3 key words they said.
Just repeat them.
Yeah, often with a slight upward questioning tone. So if they say, this deadline is impossible, you might just say, impossible. It builds rapport subconsciously. It signals, I heard you, and prompts them to elaborate, often without even thinking about it.
Okay, mirroring. Got it. What else?
Then you got the label. This is where you identify an emotion or a dynamic you're sensing. And you name it.
How do you phrase that? You don't want to sound accusatory.
Right. You use gentle, tentative phrases. It seems like, it
You
sounds
think
like, it looks like. For example, it sounds like you're under a lot of pressure.
So you're validating the feeling without necessarily agreeing with the reason for it.
Exactly. And naming that negative emotion actually tends to reduce its intensity for them. It's quite effective.
Interesting. Okay, DJ voice, mirror, label. Is there one more?
Yes, strategic silence. This is key, especially after a mirror or a label. You just pause,
How long?
at least 4 seconds,
Yeah.
maybe longer. It feels awkward at first, but people naturally want to fill silence. So they will start talking, explaining, giving you more information just to fill that gap.
Okay, let's tie this back. Chase Manhattan, Voss used these.
Absolutely. That DJ voice set the tone immediately. He used mirrors, like when the robber mentioned a getaway van, Voss mirrored getaway van, and the guy apparently just started spilling details he didn't intend to share.
Wow.
And through hours of this, using labels, understanding their fear, their desire for some control, even in that situation, Voss could frame surrender differently.
Not as giving up, but as what?
As their best move.
Yeah.
Their most logical option. He pointed out, look, nobody's been hurt, no money's actually gone, you can minimize the consequences here. He made surrender seem like the smartest, safest choice for them.
And it worked. The first guy surrendered peacefully, which broke the whole thing, all through listening.
It really boiled down to this. Real influence comes from hearing, not just from speaking. When you make someone feel genuinely understood, their whole mindset can shift. They become receptive.
Voss says, great negotiation is about great collaboration. Starts with listening.
Exactly.
So for you listening, here's something to try. Your challenge, maybe. Next conversation you have, focus only on understanding the other person. Fight that urge to plan your response. Just really hear them out.
And maybe try observing emotions more. Not just words, but tone, body language. What are people feeling even when they don't say it? That's the first step towards using this tactically.
It's a powerful foundation.
Definitely. And next time, we'll build on this, diving deeper into how to really sharpen those mirroring and labeling skills for maximum effect. You ever been in a conversation where you feel like you're both using English, but somehow talking past each other? Like, the words are the same, but the meaning just isn't landing.
Oh, absolutely. That disconnect, that frustration, it's incredibly common.
Right. And we often just, struggle not to make things worse. But what if? What if that very struggle point could actually be used, like turned into a way to connect better?
Exactly. We're not just talking about avoiding breakdowns today. We're diving into how you can strategically use that moment. It's about adding a specific skill to your toolkit.
Okay. Now, we touched on empaths listening before, really quieting your own internal noise to properly hear someone. But you're saying that's more passive.
It is. It's foundational, super important. But today, we're shifting gears to something active. We're talking tactical empathy.
Tactical empathy. Okay, break that down. How's it different and why tactical? Sounds a bit calculated.
Well, it is strategic, but not manipulative in a bad way. First off, crucially, it's not sympathy. You're not necessarily feeling what they feel or even agreeing with them.
Okay, not sympathy.
No, it's the ability to recognize, to understand their perspective, seeing the situation from their viewpoint. But here's the tactical part. It's the active, intentional vocalization of that understanding.
So you have to say it. You show them you get it.
Precisely. The goal, to kind of disarm them, make them feel genuinely heard, respected, safe, which in turn makes them more open to listening, open to influence, really.
So the mindset isn't, I need to win this. It's more like, I need to understand this person. A mission of discovery.
That's a great way to put it. A mission of discovery. Your whole focus shifts to them. What do they actually need? What are they really trying to say or get? And bonus, this focus actually helps you manage your own emotions. Keeps you calmer.
Interesting. Okay, I'm ready. What are the tools for this mission? You mentioned a couple.
Yeah, 2 really powerful ones that seem almost too simple at first glance. Mirroring and labeling.
Mirroring. The echo effect. Let's start there. Sounds like just repeating things.
Almost. It's repeating the last 1 to 3, maybe 4 critical words they just said.
Critical words.
Exactly. And this is key with a gentle, upward, kind of questioning inflection, like you're saying, tell me more or help me understand that.
Okay, help me understand. Why does that work?
There's some cool psychology here. It taps into what's called the chameleon effect. We naturally trust people who are a bit like us, even in speech patterns. It also seems to trigger neural resonance, basically getting your brains a little more in sync.
Wow. So it feels less like an interrogation and more like you're just continuing their thought.
Exactly. It's like a little backdoor to getting more information without putting them on the defensive. And then you add the secret ingredient.
Which is?
Silence. After you mirror, just pause. 4 seconds feels like an eternity, but you gotta wait. Let them fill the space. They almost always do, often with the really important stuff.
4 seconds. Okay. Got an example.
Yeah, the classic one is from Chris Voss's work. A student of his had a boss, always making these urgent, kind of crazy demands. This time, 2 physical copies of thousands of documents. Immediately.
Thousands. Physical copies.
Right, so the student just calmly mirrored. 2 copies. Upward inflection.
2 copies.
Mm-hmm. The boss starts explaining why, then mentions storing them somewhere. The student mirrors again.
Anywhere.
Anywhere. And what happened?
That simple question, that mirror, made the boss pause and think. He realized how impractical it was, and he changed his mind, suggesting 2 digital backups instead. Saved the student maybe a week of totally pointless work.
That's brilliant. It's like letting them arrive at your desired outcome, but thinking it was their idea.
That's the art of it.
Okay.
Ready for the next tool, labeling.
Let's do it. Labeling. Naming the emotion, you said.
Yeah, or the dynamic. It's making a verbal observation. Use phrases like, it seems like, or it sounds like, or it looks like. For instance, it sounds like you're feeling really frustrated about this. Always starting with, it seems like, or it sounds like, not, I think you're frustrated.
Right. Keep the focus on observing their state, not your interpretation. It feels less accusatory. Then, just like mirroring, pause. Let the label land.
Okay. And the science behind this. You mentioned something pretty dramatic.
Oh, yeah. Voss calls it remote brain surgery, which sounds intense, but basically, when you accurately label a negative emotion someone's feeling, it actually decreases the electrical activity in their amygdala. That's the brain's sort of emotional alarm system.
So you're literally calming their brain down.
You are. You're helping shift them from that reactive fight-or-flight mode into a more rational thinking space. And that builds massive trust.
Okay, that's powerful. But what if you get the label wrong? Isn't that awkward?
See, that's where it gets really clever. Sometimes you might intentionally mislabel gently.
Why would you do that?
Because people have this innate urge to correct you. If you say, it seems like the budget is the main sticking point here, and that's not the real issue.
I've jumped in.
They'll often quickly correct you with the real reason. No, the budget's fine. It's the 3-year commitment we can't swallow. And boom, you've just uncovered the hidden obstacle.
Wow, okay. That's sneaky effective. So labels are good for calming things down, finding out hidden info, breaking log jams. Pretty versatile.
Incredibly versatile.
Okay, let's put it together quickly. That manager-employee scenario you mentioned. Pat, late report. Pat says something like, just so much on my plate this week.
Right, so the manager could mirror so much on your plate, gentle, inquisitive.
Okay, and Pat probably expands, lists all the things pulling them in different directions.
Exactly. Then the manager might use a label. Okay, so it sounds like you're feeling completely overwhelmed right now.
Completely overwhelmed, and Pat would likely agree, maybe visibly relax a bit, feeling heard.
Then maybe another label, digging deeper. And it seems like with all that pressure, you're worried about the quality of the report if you rush it.
Getting to the underlying fear. Not laziness, but maybe a fear of failure or delivering bad work.
Precisely. And suddenly, what could have been a disciplinary chat turns into a collaborative one. How can we solve this together? Big difference.
Huge difference. Okay, wrapping this up then. The main point is that tactical empathy isn't just about being nice, is it?
Not at all. It's about being effective. It's strategic understanding, vocalized. Mirroring helps you discover what's really going on.
And labeling helps you connect, de-escalate, and uncover those hidden drivers.
You got it.
So for everyone listening, here's your mission, should you choose to accept it.
A little practice?
First, try mirroring. Low stakes. At the coffee shop, maybe, barista says that's $5.50. You just gently repeat with that upward inflection, $5.50. See what happens. Just observe.
Yeah, no pressure. Just notice their reaction. And maybe if you're feeling a bit bolder, try a gentle label.
Carefully, right?
Carefully. With someone you trust. A friend seems stressed. Maybe a soft, hey, it seems like you've had a really long day. And then just listen.
Simple shifts, but potentially big impact.
Absolutely. And remember, how you say these things matters immensely. Which brings us to our next deep dive.
Ah, a little tease for next time.
Yep. We'll get into mastering the negotiator's voice, because the best mirror or label can fall totally flat if your delivery, your tone is off.
Okay, looking forward to that. Until then, keep diving deep.
Okay, think about this. You're in a really high-stakes conversation. You've planned every word. But what if those words are only like a tiny part of the picture?
It's kind of wild, isn't it? When we talk about feelings, attitudes, that kind of thing, the actual words, only about 7% of the impact.
7%. Wow.
Yeah. And get this, 38% comes from your tone of voice. That's over 5 times more important than the words themselves.
So it really is how you say it. Chris Voss, the former FBI negotiator, he actually calls the voice a tool. Something you can use to
reach into a person's brain and flip an emotional switch. That's his phrase.
Exactly. And that's what we're digging into today, right? How to use that tool.
Absolutely. Because your tone isn't just like one negotiation tactic among many.
Right.
It's more fundamental. It's the delivery system. It's what makes all the other techniques work or fall flat.
So it's the foundation.
Pretty much the toolbox itself.
Okay, so today we're breaking down the 3 main tones Voss talks about. There's the playful positive.
Right, for connection.
The late-night FM DJ voice.
For that calm authority.
And the one to avoid, the direct or assertive voice.
Definitely avoid that one. The relationship killer.
Let's start with the main one, the default, the playful positive voice. You said connection.
Yeah, you'll probably use this like 80% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's meant to be easygoing, light, encouraging, collaborative. It's all about building rapport, making the other person feel safe, basically.
And how do you do that? Is there a trick?
It's surprisingly simple, actually. Just, relax and smile while you talk.
Smile. You can hear a smile.
You really can. A genuine smile changes your whole vocal tonality. It transmits warmth. It's audible.
Huh. And that warmth does more than just sound nice, I guess.
Oh, way more. We're talking neurochemistry here. When people feel positive, relaxed, their brains literally work better. Up to 31% more effectively, some studies suggest.
Wow.
Yeah, so you're making both yourself and the other person smarter, more creative, better at finding solutions together, less resistance.
Voss has a great story about this, doesn't he, with a medical bill?
He does. It's classic. He had this, $3,300 bill. Instead of fighting, he called up, used that playful voice, said something totally disarming, like, hey, I know I owe you guys money.
Seriously?
Yeah, even joked about them coming to drag him out of his house if he didn't pay. Got the person on the other end laughing, built that instant connection. Then he asked about options, maybe a discount.
And it worked.
Knock it down to $700. Just by starting with that positive, playful tone. Disarm them completely.
Okay, so playful positive is the workhorse. But then there's this other one, the late-night FM DJ voice. Sounds intriguing. When does that come in?
Right. This is more of a precision tool.
Yeah.
Use it sparingly, maybe 10, 20% of the time. It's for when you need to project calm, sort of unshakable authority.
So like delivering bad news or saying no.
Exactly. Making a firm point, saying no, delivering something difficult, but doing it without making the other person defensive. It's slow, deliberate, very reassuring, even while being firm.
What's the key technique there? Is it just talking low?
Not necessarily deep, no. It's mainly about inflection. Specifically, downward inflection. Ending your statements with your voice going down slightly.
Instead of up like a question.
Precisely. Upward inflection signals uncertainty, invites discussion. Downward inflection conveys certainty, finality. It gently closes the door. You can even help it along by just slightly dropping your chin as you speak.
And that actually has a biological effect.
It seems to. Voss talks about how it can trigger a neural response in the other person, involuntarily slowing their thoughts, calming them down. It's like a physiological lever you're pulling.
That's powerful. Is there a classic example of this?
The 1993 Chase Manhattan bank robbery is a big one. Voss took over the negotiation mid-crisis. The robber asked about the previous negotiator. Voss just used that calm, downward-inflecting DJ voice and said simply, Joe's gone. You're talking to me now.
And that just reset things.
Instantly. No aggression, but total authority. It established control and moved the negotiation forward.
Okay, so playful for connection, DJ for calm control. That leaves the third one, the assertive voice, the one you said to avoid. Why is it so bad? A lot of people think assertive means strong.
Yeah, that's a common mistake. This voice is blunt, it's harsh, declarative, often sounds aggressive. and it's almost always counterproductive.
Why? What does it do to the other person?
It triggers their defenses immediately. Fight or flight. They'll either push back hard, argue, or just shut down completely. Collaboration, forget it. It's over.
So it actually makes things worse, not better.
Way worse. Voss calls it a signal of failure, not strength. He's seen heart rates jump like crazy 170 beats per minute when someone uses that tone. It floods the brain with cortisol, basically shutting down rational thought. He literally says, I can make you dumb in the assertive voice.
You definitely don't want your counterpart to be dumber.
Absolutely not. You want them thinking clearly, able to solve problems with you.
And Voss learned this the hard way himself, didn't he?
He did. He tells a story about a colleague early in his career who just told him straight up, dealing with you is like getting hit in the face with a brick.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's a perfect illustration. That assertive style just destroys rapport, makes people unwilling to work with you, even if they're on your own team. You got to cut it out.
Okay, so let's recap quickly. Playful, positive. Build collaboration, that's your 80% late night FM DJ. Calm control, use selectively. Assertive, don't.
Exactly. And remember, mastering your voice isn't just about influencing others. It starts with mastering yourself. Choosing your tone helps regulate your own emotions, your own thinking, puts you in a better state.
Right. So how can you listening practice this? We've got a couple of quick ideas. First, the voice memo drill.
Yeah, try this. Record yourself saying a phrase like, it seems like you have a lot on your plate right now. Say it once, trying to sound genuinely warm and smiling. That's your playful voice.
Then say the same phrase again, but slowly, calmly, letting your voice drop slightly at the end, your DJ voice.
Then listen back. Hear the difference. Feel the difference.
And for a real-world test,
try the late-night FM DJ voice in a really low-stakes situation, like ordering coffee or asking a simple question in a store. Just slow down a tiny bit. Use that downward inflection. See how it feels. Notice any subtle shifts in the interaction.
It's about practice, isn't it? Your voice is right there, always available. It's probably your most immediate, powerful tool for influence.
Absolutely. It's not magic. It's skill. Practice it. Work on it. It really can change the outcome of pretty much every conversation you have. Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling something maybe a bit uncomfortable. The word no.
Yeah, it's got such a negative vibe for most people, hasn't it? Rejection, dead end.
Exactly. But what if that's completely wrong? What if no is actually like the most powerful word you can use in a negotiation?
Well, that's the whole idea from Chris Voss, the former FBI hostage negotiator. His book, Never Split the Difference, it just flips this on its head.
Right. He pushes back hard against that standard win-win approach.
Yeah.
Says it often leads to kind of weak compromises.
Precisely. So our mission today is to really dig into why saying no, or rather hearing no, can be such a breakthrough. It's all about psychology.
And emotion, right. We've touched on tactical empathy before, how negotiation is all about understanding the other person's feelings and perspective.
Absolutely. Voss builds right on that. He says we're all driven by these two really primal urges, needing to feel safe and needing to feel in control.
Okay, so how does no fit into safety and control? It feels like the opposite.
But see, when you intentionally give someone permission to say no, you actually calm them down. It's like a circuit breaker for that fight or flight response, Disarms the amygdala.
Interesting. So letting them say no makes them feel safer.
Exactly. Because a forced yes, what Voss calls a cheap counterfeit dodge, that's just someone trying to escape the pressure. It's not real agreement.
Yeah, you just say yes to make the awkwardness stop.
Right. But a no that you allowed, that gives them back their sense of control. And paradoxically, that builds trust. You're showing you aren't trying to trap them.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So no isn't necessarily, I hate this idea. It could be. What?
Oh, lots of things. It often comes from just a fear of change, or maybe I'm not ready yet, or I don't quite get it, or even I think I want something different.
Like Mark Cuban says, every no gets me closer to a yes. It's just information.
Spot on. It's a starting point. So the really smart negotiators, they don't avoid no. They actually seek it out.
How? By asking questions designed to get a no.
Yeah.
That sounds weird.
It does, but think about it. Instead of, do you have a few minutes? Which puts pressure on.
Right, because you feel obligated to say yes, even if you're busy.
Exactly. Try asking, is now a bad time to talk? See the difference.
Okay. If they say yes, it is bad, they usually offer a better time. And if they say, no, it's not bad, then you know you actually have their attention.
Precisely. You've given them control, made it safe. Other great ones are like, would you be opposed to?
Or, am I off base here? It invites them to correct you, to share what they're really thinking.
Yeah, it opens things up. So you hear no. Now what? Is that it?
No, Voss says that's where the real negotiation starts. It's your cue to understand more.
Right. And that's where you use calibrated questions, those how and what questions, not why, which can sound accusatory.
So things like, what about this doesn't work for you? Or maybe, what would you need to make it work?
Yes. And then silence. Just wait. Like 4 seconds. It feels long, but
It makes them fill the silence. They often reveal the real obstacle then, don't they?
they really do. And the goal, the ultimate sign you've connected, it's when they say, that's right.
Not, you're right, but that's right. Meaning, yes, you understand my situation.
Exactly. It signifies real alignment. And this stuff, it works everywhere.
Like dealing with being ghosted, that's so common now.
Oh yeah, Voss has a brilliant, simple email for that. Have you given up on this project?
Ooh, that's direct. Why does that work?
It taps into loss aversion. People hate losing things more than they like gaining things, and it gives them back control. They almost always reply.
That's clever. Okay, what about saying no ourselves without burning bridges?
Yeah, that's crucial too. Voss has this 4-step sequence. It's pretty nuanced.
Okay, step 1.
First, try asking genuinely, how am I supposed to do that? It prompts them to consider your position.
Okay, if that doesn't work.
Then the soft decline. Your offer is very generous. I'm sorry, that just didn't work for me. Focus on yourself.
Got it. Still pushing.
Step 3. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I just can't do that. A bit firmer.
And the last resort.
Only if you absolutely have to. I'm sorry, no.
Yeah.
But often you won't even need to get there if you use the earlier steps well.
So it's about maintaining rapport while holding your ground.
Absolutely. So wrapping up, embracing no, both hearing it and sometimes saying it, it really can transform how you interact. It brings clarity, safety, real understanding.
Because you're granting autonomy, you're digging past the surface level.
Yeah. So we really encourage you, try out some of these no-oriented questions. Maybe start small, low-stakes situations, see how it feels.
Practice makes perfect, right? Or at least makes it less awkward.
Definitely. And maybe just mull this over. How could truly listening to no and giving people that space not just help your negotiations,
but actually make your relationships, well, fundamentally stronger?
something to think about.
That's all for this episode of the Deep Dive Cast. Thanks for joining us. We hope you gained some valuable insights. Be sure to tune in next time for another deep dive into the world's best ideas. Until then, keep learning and growing.